Hello, and this is Mayor Tommy Battle. Our program this week will highlight Ditto Landing and the exciting changes occurring at our historic port. Ditto Landing Marina is located on the Tennessee River just off of Hobbs Road at the Highway 231 bridge. The marina is actually named for pioneer James Ditto, who came to the area in the early 1800s, about the time Huntsville was settled. Within a few years, Ditto built a trading post at the site, and in 1807, he started operating a ferry boat to carry travelers back and forth across the river. Passengers included Andrew Jackson and Davy Crockett. Today, the marina marks the midpoint of the Tennessee River waterway in the state of Alabama. It offers boat slips and dry boat storage, a boat launch, campground, pavilion, and recreational opportunities for skiers, wakeboarders, and anglers. That is Ditto today. Here to tell us about Ditto's future is the marina's new executive director, Brandi Quick. Brandi recently joined Ditto from an executive position with the Von Braun Center, and she has a lot of experience in marketing, entertainment, and recreation venues. Brandi, welcome to Upshot.
Thank you.
Now, you just finished Marina Days down there, didn't you?
We did.
Tell us about it.
Marina Day was an exciting event that we just started. It was our first year to celebrate Marina Day. And when we did that, we had a backyard barbecue competition called Reelin' and Smokin'. We had 22 teams participate in that, very excited about that. And also we had bluegrass bands, we had Amy McCarley singing, we had vendors set up, and had about 1,000 people join us that day.
That's great. You know, I went down for it and got to help you give out the trophies for the barbecue contest. But really, it was one of the first times I've been here 36 years in Huntsville. It was one of the first times I've been in the back section where all the camping was.
That's right. We use the camping area as our sites for all of our cookers, and then there's a picnic area adjacent to it that we were able to enjoy with shade on such a warm day.
Do you have a lot of campers coming down and camping in those areas?
We do, but we sure would like to have more.
Okay,
As
all
we
right.
expand, we'll do that.
Well, you know, I think that's one of the neat things that people are now getting to see Ditto and see a lot more of it. A lot more people are coming down to Ditto since you've come in. We started, gosh, I guess a year ago, doing visioning on Ditto Landing. As we went through the visioning process, neighbors came in, people interested in Ditto Landing came in. And it was very fascinating to hear their ideas. How are their ideas being incorporated today?
We have a great deal of their ideas going in, but the first phase that we're going to implement is expanding the campgrounds and also making it easier to get in and out of Ditto. Right now, it's, I guess, difficult. Yeah. We've got one lane in, one lane out. We'll expand that. We'll have some security there to be able to help people find their way as they come in. And then we'll expand our campgrounds from 33 sites to almost 200 sites.
Wow, 200 sites, campground sites.
Yes, sir.
Good gosh, that's a lot. Now, when I look at the plans, you're adding lakes, is that right? And expanding the basin marina, is that right?
That is in the plans for the future. Okay. The lakes will be added, though, as part of the campground expansion, and that's for two reasons. One, to help contain some of the extra water we have down at Ditto during the winter, and also to meet the demand that we've heard from our clients and the people that are enjoying the campgrounds now, which is to have waterfront property. So they can enjoy the water, they can fish in those lakes. The lakes will range in size from 1 to 5 acres, so there'll be plenty of waterfront locations.
Now, will the lakes be stocked?
Yes.
Stocked with bass?
They'll be stocked.
Stocked, okay. You know, one of the things that I always hear, and we do neighborhood meetings throughout the city, and when we go to those neighborhood meetings, everybody asks about the marina, Ditto Landing. What's the future plans for Ditto Landing? You know, as we went through the visioning, it was kind of interesting because we started off in the direction of let's have restaurants down here, let's have a casino down here, let's have this, that, and the other. Lots of different, ideas that were, maybe some of them achievable, some of them not. But really, as the conversation matured, it seemed like it kind of turned more towards recreation and doing something recreation-wise. Tell me about some of the future plans for recreation and what we can look for in the next 5, 10, 15 years out of Ditto.
Sure. Our litmus test for anything that we're doing down there at Ditto is to provide outdoor recreation. So anything that enhances the outdoor recreation experience, we are very interested in. So when we've already started with our non-motorized watercraft rentals. We have those in place now, so people can come and visit Ditto, and they can rent kayaks, they can rent paddle boards, they can rent canoes, and enjoy Aldridge Creek and the connection there to the Tennessee River. So we already have that in place. We're moving forward. Now we look at other things that we can do. We're going to expand our walkways, our bikeways, so that people can get around and enjoy all the parts of Ditto. We also will connect with the land trust property up on Green Mountain. Little do some people know, but we have 600 acres at Ditto, and it's on both sides of Hobbs Island Road, not just the water. So we actually move up the mountain. And when we do that, we're going to look at putting in cabins and rental cabins, and also zip lines and even more bike trails.
Wow, a whole trailway system and everything else. Have y'all put a time frame or timeline on it, or is it kind of early in the process to do that?
It's early in the process because we really want to make sure that we can connect correctly to the land trust property, but we are working closely with their board and their executive director to make sure that that happens the way it should.
Good. So the first step is going to be more water, more lakes, and also do some flood control down there.
That's correct.
Because I think all of us have seen times when it's rained and the rivers come up and it's kind of, it looks very watery at that point.
That's right.
And then the second part is do you think the next part you're going to expand the campground? And then the third part is going up on the mountain and looking at more cabins and then zip lines and more pathways and all the fun things that you can do, mountain bike riding and everything else up in there.
That's right. We also want to look at how we can enhance the on-water experience, whether that's accommodating larger boats in our harbor, because right now we are seeing a limitation in that. So we're looking at expanding the harbor, and we're also looking at adding an event space. Right now we have 2 pavilions. They're open air pavilions. We can close them up a bit, but it cuts off the amazing view that we have of the water. So at some point soon, we'd like to establish an event facility so that we can enjoy that area and the public can enjoy that area for weddings, receptions, meetings, conferences, all those types of events, and still enjoy that view that only we have.
Now you're getting back to your old VBC days, aren't you?
That's right.
Getting right back into what you're comfortable with. Talk a little bit about the location of Ditto Landing, end of greenways, and how greenways tie in, and some of the things that I've heard in the master plans.
Right. So we've got the Aldridge Creek Greenway that comes directly down to our property, and we're excited about having that there. And then the connections through the land trust up to Green Mountain. But then the city has the plan of connecting downtown all the way to Ditto, and that would be an amazing opportunity for all of us. You
know, two of the plans, and there's one plan to take the Greenway all the way from downtown down the old railroad line and to use part of the easement all down the railroad line all the way down to Ditto Landing in the Tennessee River. Then the second plan is if we can get across Pinhook Creek, and take it from downtown to Low Mill to Bram Springs to John Hunt Park, and then just keep on following the Aldridge, the Pinhook Creek, and follow it all the way down to the Tennessee River. And that almost dumps us out just right where you are. So, I mean, and part of that plan is to also take it to A&M and take the old railroad bed from A&M to downtown, so you can go all the way from north city boundary to south city boundary, which is a long ride, all on greenways. You know, I think it's a long-term plan. It's a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-year plan. But if once we can put all that together, boy, we have a lot of rideability, walkability, and then you've got a recreation center at the very end of it.
Right, so many connections, and A&M and Ditto bookending that would be amazing.
Good. All right, now some of the other things, future things that we've talked about is possibility of going across Tennessee River and looking at some property there. Have y'all, has the board been involved in some of that?
The board's very excited about that opportunity. We've been following it through the city council meetings and keeping up with it that way. But the fact that there's water over there that people can swim and enjoy would be wonderful. And having that connection to be able to take pedestrians and bikes over the bridge would be just wonderful.
Okay, and so one of the things that we're talking about doing possibly as we come through is a park over there. 200 plus acres.
That's right.
200 plus acres, a 60-acre lake in the middle of it, and the possibility of taking that in, and it would be a donation from someone who's doing development over in the area. But then going across Tennessee River Bridge, and as a new bridge is built, talk about some of those possibilities.
Well, as a new bridge is built, if we can create a pedestrian walkway that goes over the bridge, you have the opportunity to have some events up there. You can bike across it, an amazing view, and it can be actually a highlight for the skyline as you look north from the southern side of the Tennessee River.
So we're talking now about going all the way from Alabama A&M to downtown Huntsville to the Tennessee River, and then possibly being able to make a bridge, which will be a leftover bridge after the new bridge is built, and using that bridge as a pedestrian crossway and a bike path too. So you could go all the way across the river and end up down in Morgan County. Really.
Absolutely. I mean, what big city doesn't have that connection across the river, and we'll have that too.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, one of the things we keep looking at with the city is what's the cost? What do you think the cost is of the river bridge and keeping it up and keeping it maintained to the point that it has to be maintained? But then what's the cost of not doing it? So it's one of those question marks that you look at and say, what an asset that we could have for our city.
And that's an opportunity that we won't ever get back. So we need to take advantage of it.
Okay, right now, when you go down to Ditto Landing today, you got some campgrounds in there with some that's very shaded and very nice, and I saw that last Saturday. You've got the marina and boat slips. What kind of boats? Who's down there?
We have boaters that have enjoyed Ditto from the beginning. They've just kept it a really quiet secret how wonderful it is. So we've got the larger boats, we've got down to just your average boaters that come out and want to go fishing. So we have fishing boats, we have sailboats, we have houseboats. All of those are down there, and people should just come down and just observe the marina and see how beautiful it is.
And then we're going to enlarge the basin, and we'll be able to add more boat slippage. Is that right?
That's right, and increase our dry storage so that we can take in larger boats in dry storage as well.
Okay, and so with the boats, and have we, you're looking at cabins coming up on the mountain. Do we have people living down at Ditto Landing in some of the boats?
No, we're taking care of that.
Okay, so we don't actually have people living, no houseboats that people live on or anything. What was that? Tammy and Love used to have everybody lived on a houseboat or something.
They're limited to how many days they can stay. So.
Okay, all right, and so ultimately, you've got wave runners down there. You've got non-motorized canoes, kayaks, and everything that everybody uses. What do you see as the ultimate? If you could step back and go 20 years in the future, and you've gotten to do everything you want to do, what do you think? How do you think that's going to rate as a attraction?
I think it's the top outdoor recreation location in North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, the whole area. Once we get a restaurant built down there, once we get zip lines, once we have people that can stay in cabins and do a little glamping, as they say, that would be wonderful. And then 200 sites that have full hookup, that have a pull through so that the larger campers can come in and enjoy it as well. The waterfront property for all of those, an event location, our nice bridge that the city was so kind to donate to us, have that refurbished and open so that people can walk across that, and that becomes an event location as well. And then expand across the river as well. I mean,
wow, you got a little bit of everything. Tell me, amphitheater. Now, this is interesting. Everybody seems to want to do an amphitheater. What kind of events? What kind of shows? What do you think?
I think that we would have it'd be a casual atmosphere where everyone could come. People could come out. They could bring their lawn chairs. They could lay out their blankets, kind of like the concerts in the park. But we have a little bit bigger waterway to enjoy. And then when we get those down there, then we can just build from there. And at some point, once we get parking, once we get everything built so that the traffic flows can happen, then who knows? Big Spring Jam.
Oh, wow. Wow, big plans.
That's right.
All right, now go through your plan. What have we missed in your plan that we've been talking about now so far?
Well, we need to focus on, we're going to have a lot of opportunities for children and families to play. So new playgrounds, family-friendly walkways, runways, and bikeways. Then also we need to look at, again, I keep going back to that event facility. It's the only place you can get that view.
Okay, some of these, in our past, we've had a lot of interesting ways of financing things. And,
Yes.
This is going to have to be, there'll be some city money, some county money that we're kind of talking about. But are we going to have corporate money in this? Are we going to have corporate partnerships and work with different corporations on maybe providing a playground, maybe doing this or that? Talk to me about some of the partnerships maybe.
I think those partnerships are vital. We've seen the success that a public-private partnership can have in Huntsville. You see it in downtown. You see it all over the city. And I think that's something that we need to invest in and that we will invest in. We'll contact those people that are wanting to invest in Ditto and move forward with that.
Great. And you've got a board. Tell me just a little bit about your board makeup. You've got how many members?
We have 5 board members.
Okay.
2 are appointed by the city, 2 are appointed by the county, and 1 is a joint appointment that you guys alternate.
Good. And you got in your board, you've got a little bit, you've got engineers, you've got business people, you've got outdoor people, you've got a little bit of everything, don't you?
We do. We have banking, we have architecture represented, engineering, geotech is represented there, and the boaters, most importantly, they're represented as well.
Good. And of course, I know that you have a councilwoman who has that in her district who is very excited about the future of Ditto Landing. And you've got a county commissioner, Phil Riddick, who's very excited about that too. So what's been their involvement in the plan?
They have been hands-on from the beginning. Dr. Robinson and Commissioner Riddick are constantly in touch with me, giving me ideas from what they're hearing from their constituents.
Yeah.
Even Commissioner Riddick even performed at Marina Day this year. So we were happy to have him there.
Okay. What was really interesting about Marina Day is that, even though it was a hot day, it was, 90s to 100, but still that breeze coming down the river gave you a nice breeze that you could sit underneath the trees in the shade and it wasn't really uncomfortable.
No, it was not at all.
So it was a great day and a great thing. So you've got the help of you've got a good board. You've got both your Jeannie Robinson, who's your city councilwoman. You got your county commissioner working, and you seem to have a plan all put together. When can we see when do we start seeing results?
We're ready to start moving dirt as soon as the county is ready to move with us. We have submitted plans for drainage and grading to be approved. Once those are approved, then we'll start moving dirt.
Good. And do you think about timelines and everything else? Do you think that the full plan, if we all kind of pitch in and everybody kind of works together, that we're looking 20 years from now, 25 years from now, 10 years from now? What do you think?
I'm thinking 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
I think we can do it. We've got to have everyone on board, and we've got to have the support of the city and the county and all of our constituents along the way.
Well, I want to tell you, the place looks just marvelous. Coming down there and looking around, everything's clean. Everything is vibrant, and the place is running like a well-oiled clock, like you've always run facilities. So congratulations on doing a great job down there.
And just to mention, we have a very small staff that's doing all of that work, and we can't wait for that staff to grow as well. So we're looking forward to growing all of our operations and expanding our staff so that we can make things even better.
So how many people do you have?
We have 6.
6 people,
6
and they cover 7
employees.
days a week, 24 hours a day.
They do.
365 days a year.
Yes, sir.
Wow, great job.
Great team.
Well, listen, I want to tell you, we appreciate all that you've done, because you've really, you've taken an asset that we have, and maybe it was a asset that just needed to be polished some, and you've started doing some polishing on it, and then come up with a great plan. And part of the plan has come out of the big picture and community involvement and people working day to day to try to make sure that we take that asset and do something with it. And now you're putting it into reality. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
So we're talking to Brandi Quicken. We're talking today about our program on Ditto Landing. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mayor Tommy Battle. We'll see you next time on the Upshot.